And I don't even know why I'm looking at my watch. My watch has been dead for days. I don't even have my watch charger. But we're live. This is our first actual live stream in quite a few days. So for people who have not been up to date with everything, we were recently moving houses. We're moving to a really nice house. We're really looking forward to it. And basically, the entire house flooded within hours of us being in there, and it is unlivable. No heating, no water. Those kind of go together, in all fairness. No electricity, no gas. The whole house is just currently shut down right now. So, of course, I'm making some posts on our Facebook, and I've had some stuff posted on our stories, but obviously, a lot of our viewers are obviously not going to see that at the same time as well. So I really thought the best thing to do would be, while I'm able to at the time, do a nice little just chatting IRL stream, so that way we can chat with some of our viewers, let people know what's going on, let people know when the stream should be expected to be coming back in there, and just try have some normality, because life has been incredibly hectic and just absolutely all over the place for the last little bit. So good to have a little normality. And I do have chat. I don't believe we have any alerts or notifications or anything like that on the stream right now. You can still send subs and bits and stars and gift subs if you want to, just because I'm not going to say no to that. But currently, no alerts or anything along those lines set up. But I can see chat. Everything should be all connected up in there. We're going to do an IRL hot tub stream. And that was the plan. Unfortunately, that is going to have to be delayed a little bit. So we were planning on doing that the first week of moving into the new house. But, well, that's unfortunately just going to have to be delayed just a little bit now. So future stuff, just been putting the backlog in there. Good afternoon, I've been chatting. Nice shirt. Oh yeah, some of you guys get to see some of the brand new merch. Not live yet. The merch store was planning on being live this week, but I'm not going to put the merch store live when I'm not able to stream, because we obviously want to get the hype in there. We want to, be able to promote it. I don't want to, this has been something we've been building up for a while. We've put a lot of work into it. We've done a lot of crazy designs and some really, really cool stuff that we've never done before. I don't want to just, downplay it and have a post in Discord being like, hey, new merch is live. Go check it out. I want to make sure that we've a proper launch for it. So it means some of our viewers are going to have to just wait that little bit longer, which is really annoying. But I'm planning on having the merch store live basically the second I'm able to stream normally. That's the game plan. And that is more than likely not until like the 28th or the 29th. So still, I keep going to look at my watch. My watch is dead. I don't have like any of my stuff. I literally don't even have the charger to charge my watch. I've been just wearing it to wear it. I don't even have a charger for my phone. I've been using like just spare cables that have been in the place that we've been staying at. So we have a few more viewers and stuff in here now, so we can talk a bit more. So there's not been any streams for the last few days. If you've been following our socials, you'll know why. So we were moving houses. That was good. We were moving into a really nice house. We were moving houses because the previous place we were staying in didn't allow pets. When we first moved in, that wasn't an issue because we didn't have a pet. They still allowed me in, but you know how that works. So we obviously ended up with a Jimmy, and then the landlords didn't want a pet. So unfortunately, we had to move out. Their house, just how it goes. We tried, back and forth with them a little bit. We tried offer a few things here and there, but unfortunately, they just didn't want any pets whatsoever. So we just ended up having to move. So we moved houses, moved to a really nice house. It was definitely an upgrade. Like this was, really, really nice. So we got everything shipped. Well, not shipped. We got everything packed up and we moved everything. We're in the same area. It was literally like 5 minutes from where we were previously living. So, getting everything transported was, pretty easy and pretty straightforward. So we got everything moved to the new house. Everything's still in boxes. We unpacked the living room. So we got our TV set up. We got sound bar. We got our sofas set up. We had kitchen table set up. And that was literally about it. So we didn't have any other boxes undone. Like all my streaming equipment was still sitting in boxes and in the stream room ready to go. So that was all planned for the next day. We just done the big move, a lot of stuff going on. So we were like, cool, we're getting the basic stuff. Our bed's upstairs ready to go. Our living area is good to go for now, at a bare minimal, I suppose. So we're like, cool, long day. Let's take it easy. And then tomorrow we'll crank it out. I'll put together the stream setup. Lou will get some of the normal day living stuff set up that needs to be done as well, and we'll go from there. So we're sitting on the sofa, we're watching some TV stuff, and we're just chilling, having a nice little nap, snuggling, do what we do. And then all of a sudden we start hearing like some dripping sounds. And we're like, what the? Like, what is that? I was like, do you hear that? I was like, it sounds like something's dripping. And we're like, is it raining outside? I was like, is it raining right now? I was like, God, it sounds really weird. The new house has a conservatory, like a big glass, like patio conservatory kind of area. I don't know how else to explain it. That's literally just what it is. If you don't know what it is, that's your problem, not mine. But it has a big glass conservatory, which is connected to the living room. So I thought maybe it was raining onto that because it's just pure glass. So I was like, that sounds like it's inside. I was like, it's one of the radiators leaking. And we got up and we were looking around, and then we're like, uh-oh. We're like, there's just a puddle of water on the ground in the middle of the living room. And we're like, it's leaking from the roof. We've been in this house 3 hours at this stage. I believe like 3 hours. Like a sunroom, yeah, sure, whatever. It turns out, yes, it was raining, but I did say, yeah, pretty much. So we were like, what the hell? So it was just a few drips kind of coming in, nothing major, puddle didn't happen or anything at this stage. It obviously was just happening. So I was like, oh shit, a pipe must have, not a pipe, a radiator must just be leaking or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, it's there. So it's probably the radiator in Lou's office is what it looked like, which was directly upstairs. So I go upstairs. Oh my God. So the area you use to get into the attic, like the attic, the opening to get into the attic, I don't know what it's called, like a skylight kind of thing. That area was literally just gushing. No other word I can use. Gushing with water. The entire frame of the door that you use to open to get into the attic was just. I was like, oh my God. All upstairs is really like thick carpet, fat carpet. People are like, what's thick carpet? Dense, all right? Just dense carpet. And it was just gushing down through that. The light sockets, water was coming down through that. Lou's office, light sockets coming down through that. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what is happening here? So we thought it was just like a radiator was leaking from Lou's office. Go upstairs. It is a water park upstairs. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, what is happening here? I open up the attic skylight. I climb up into the attic. There's just a ladder there, really handy. I go up into there, and it is just every inch is just soaking. It's just so much water. I'm like, what the hell? So this must have been going for a while before it leaked down through the attic, and then must have been sitting on that second level for ages before it started leaking down to us. So it was going for a bit at this stage. And we're just like, Jesus, this is a lot right now. And obviously it was. Got up into the attic, and it's like smoky up there as well. I'm like, what is, I was like, should I be inhaling this? I was like, well, I need to figure out what the issue is so I can stop this. So it turns out that the pipes basically are not the correct pipes for the attic. They're basically, so the attic needs to be either insulated properly, which it isn't right now, because the attic isn't a living area. It's just like an attic. That's literally it. But it's not insulated correctly for the cold weather that we're currently having right now, which is like down to -5, which is pretty cold, but it's not like, ridiculously cold. Like -5 in comparison to other countries is not at Celsius, that is. So pretty damn cold, but still, like, this is internal piping freezing. So that's obviously not good. So it turns out the piping that was upstairs is not the correct piping, and it's obviously just not meant to be used in an area like that. So the piping is being replaced. That is being done tomorrow. It was meant to be done today, but we need some other things to come in, so it's happening tomorrow. But I got up into the attic anyway, and I could actually see where the pipes have split from each other. Literally a whole pipe just was not connected anymore. But the weird thing was, that's not even where the water was coming from. Where the pipes were split was just a big chunk of ice. So obviously we went into the house, Nobody's been in the house for the last little while before us. So the house has been sitting like dormant for a little while. We moved in, turned on the heating, got everything running. And then obviously the pipes were already frozen upstairs. And then for those few hours that we were there, pressure built up. Obviously, there was that the ice was just up in there. So pressure built up and pressure built up and pressure built up and eventually just split the pipe where it was frozen. Obviously, to us, we didn't know this. This wasn't something that we caused. This was just bad, unfortunately. The house should have been maintained a little bit more. Somebody should have been coming regularly and turning on the heating or something to make sure things like this wouldn't happen. Again, incorrect used pipes in the attic. So not our fault in any way whatsoever. Really, really annoying though, like so annoying. So yeah, I could literally see the pipes just weren't connected anymore, and there was just a big chunk of ice in it. But that's not even where the water was coming from. The pipes just split there first, I guess, and then the water was actually gushing out of the main part where the water comes into the house, I guess, because that's where it is. So obviously the pressure built up, it split the pipe from there, and had nowhere else for the water to go, and then it ended up busting a pipe in another spot. So then it was absolutely pissing out from there, so much water. And then eventually the ice on that pipe melted, and then it was gushing out water from that side as well. So it covered a large portion of the house. At this point, we've been in the house for about 3 hours, and because we just moved, our insurance currently isn't active yet. So we had insurance in the old house, which covered all my streaming equipment, all of our utilities, like our washing machine, our sofas, our TV, everything, all the things that we own, just covered in the housing insurance in there. But because we literally just moved in 3 hours at this stage, none of our insurance is active as of yet. So any personal things of ours that got damaged, fucked. All of my streaming equipment, both of my PCs, including my brand new PC, $5,200 PC that was just sent to me last week. I've played on it twice. I've literally played on it twice. That was in the house. My camera with my lenses, the lens would be fine, but my camera, that is very expensive camera as well. That's quite a few more thousand in there as well. My desk, it's a wooden desk. My lighting, my chair, a PlayStation 5, a Nintendo Switch, audio equipment, my microphone, my mixer, my keyboard, my mouse, and many other small things that I'm forgetting about. My Steam Deck was there as well. Like, absolutely my headphones, every bit of equipment I own was in the house at this stage. And as I said, our insurance is not currently active as of yet because we literally just moved. So in the stream room alone, there was probably about $20,000 to $25,000 worth of equipment in there, not insured. Yeah, so that's fun. But none of that got damaged because the leak was on the opposite side of the house. So, hey, we're all good. I built that one up a little bit. As you can see, the humor is still there. It takes a lot to get man down. This is just a giant inconvenience. Obviously, it's super annoying, but it'll all be sorted in the end of it. I'm still in good spirits. Stressful. Lou is definitely a lot more stressed out. I'm definitely the one to try balance everything out. But everything that we own is all good. The only thing that actually got hit with water is our sofa. Our sofa got very, very drenched, and the fact that we've no way of currently drying out any of the house yet, our sofas have been sitting there just soaking wet in freezing cold house for like 4 or 5 days straight now. So mold and just water damage is going to be a thing, so we will need to get something going on with that to make sure that our sofa doesn't basically just grow mold inside of it and just doesn't destroy the fabric, because it's a really nice sofa that we got. Like, it cost a lot of money, that sofa. Like, this was like the biggest purchase we made since we moved into a house. We bought a ridiculous sofa. Like, this sofa you can have 3 people sleeping comfortably on the sofa. It is huge and it's so so nice, but it's expensive. Lou really wanted it. I really wanted it. We got it. It was like our first big purchase, right? We got our own sofa, we have our own living room. We never had this before. So that got soaking wet. So we're probably going to have to do something to take care of that, unfortunately. But out of everything, that's the only thing of ours that actually got damaged in any way, which is annoying, but hopefully can be fixed. So as of right now, the house has no water, no heating, no electrics, no gas, no nothing. While the pipes were busting, all this stuff was going on. It was mainly just one side of the house that got done. Our bedroom, perfectly fine. My stream room, perfectly fine. Lou's office got pretty wet, but it was in a very specific area, so none of her stuff got damaged, which was really nice because she has a lot of her office stuff in there too. So that was all fine as well. So our sofa was the only thing of ours that really got hit. But as of right now, we are homeless. We do not have a house we can currently live in. We've been staying in, thankfully, Lou has an auntie that lives in the area, and we've literally been sleeping. This is where we've been sleeping. That is just a fold-out futon. It is incredibly uncomfortable. You can feel all the points in the bed. If I lie on my side, I basically feel like I'm lying on a metal bar pointing. I feel like I'm just lying on it like that. Incredibly uncomfortable. We also have Jimmy. Jimmy has been sleeping in here too. We have Jimmy's bed. Jimmy doesn't want to sleep on his bed because that thing is so low on the ground. He can just walk onto the bed. Jimmy is super wriggly and fidgety, and he'll basically change positions about 80 times in an hour while we're sleeping. He'll be on your face at one stage, he'll be turning around, he'll kick you in the face, he'll kick you in the ribs, he'll be down by your feet, he'll be up by your face, he'll be on top of you, he'll be across you. There's been times where he's taken up more of the bed than me and Lou have taken up. So super uncomfortable sleeping area that we've had to been sleeping on, and then incredibly broken sleep the entire time while all the stress and stuff is going on. So it's been really fun in there. So there was a ton of water damage done to the house. So what we need to get done right now is the house is just soaking and freezing. The main door frame that goes into our living area has been warped. The door no longer shuts. You can literally see where the door frame. So the door frame used to be like this. The door frame is now like this, which is a pretty big deal because it's like the bang on center point of the house. So there has been structural damage from the amount of water. There's been so much water, man. Gone. I ran around that house. So while all this water damage was happening, all the electricity went out. It's pitch black. It's pissing water. So much water. Like the house turned into a fucking water park, man. Ridiculous. Electricity out. We just moved in, so I know where nothing is. I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how to fix this. The pipe's busted upstairs. There's no way of reconnecting this back. I don't have equipment for this. I'm not a plumber, and I have no idea what I'm doing. All I know is there's a water main. I got to find the water main. I got to turn it off. Simple, right? Usually in most houses, the main water mains is just underneath the sink. So I was like, cool, straight to the sink. It is not underneath the sink. I'm like, okay, so it's probably in one of those little white boxes outside. You need one of those weird, like, triangular tools to open those boxes. You know, there's like the electricity boxes for your meter, there's like the gas box, and then there's usually one for the water as well. So I was like, okay, cool. Went outside the house in the pitch black, just using the flashlight on my phone. Found the electrical box, obviously turned off at this stage. Found the gas box. I'm like, I'm turning this off just in case. I don't fucking know. I want everything shut down in this house. I cannot find the water mains. I done laps outside the house, up and down, into the garage, tried to follow the actual pipes because I could see where the pipes were. So I was trying to follow the pipes around to figure out where the main source was. All I could find was that the main water mains goes outside, but when it goes outside, it actually goes through the inside of the house. I'm like, I cannot find the water mains. So for about 30 minutes after we noticed the water was leaking, again, at this stage, it flooded down from the attic, the second floor, and all the way down the bottom. And each of these floors are quite dense. So it took a while to get through each of these layers. So by the time it made to the final floor, it took us about 30 minutes to actually find where the water mains was. It turns out it was in some random press underneath like some shelving and in the back or something. It was in a weird spot. Basically, it looks like the kitchen was revamped and they moved the position of where the sink was. and the water mains was in the old positioning, but it was in a weird spot, like under like a cabinet table through a press. It was in a really weird spot. We even went through like our tenancy agreement, trying to figure out if it said anything in there. We could not find it. At one stage, I literally ran out of the house, went next door to one of the neighbors. I was like, "Hi, I'm your neighbor. Emergency." Me being Irish, I already talk really fast, and well, there's an emergency going on. The person is quite old that answers the door, and I'm like, "Hey, we just moved in. We're your neighbors. Hi, how you doing?" Uh, Pipe burst upstairs, gave him the whole spiel. I was like, "Where is your water mains? I cannot find mine." And he just looks at me and goes, "I'm sorry, what?" I'm like, "I moved in next door. This is blah, blah, blah." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh God, he doesn't understand me. I talk too fast and I'm Irish." I was like, Jesus. And his daughter came out and gave the rundown, and she was like, "Okay, water mains, nice." And they were like, "Ours is just under the sink." And I was like, "Check there. It's not there. Do you guys have any idea?" They were like, "Our house is completely different from your house." They're like, "Our house is super old, like their house is super old." So they're like, "It's probably completely different." And then his wife came out and she was telling me where the water mains for the entire street was, and she was bringing me outside, and they were taking their time, and I am in a rush here because I'm trying to do some damage control. I'm doing a very bad job at it. Fuck you, Spike, I see your messages. So she brings me outside and they're taking their time. And I'm like, this is an emergency. I don't have time to chit chat. They're chit chatting with me. They're talking about this. They're talking about that. I'm like, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't. I need to go do this. And they're like, "Oh, I think ours might have been in one of the bushes, maybe." And they went around looking in their bushes, trying to show me where it was. And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go check my bushes real quick." Giggity. I was like, just in case. I was like, these are kind of weird houses. Maybe it's just outside like that. And then she was like, "Oh, I know where it is." I was like, "Awesome, amazing." She brought me over to like a manhole cover on the ground, which is just for the outflow of water. And she was like, "That's where it is. If you lift that up there, you can turn off all the water." And I was like, "That's a manhole cover. That is just where everyone's water drains to. I cannot turn that off." I was like, "Each house has their own in and out. I just need to know where mine is." And the daughter was like, "Ma'am, he doesn't have time for this." It's like, "Let him go." And I was like, "Thank you, bye." I was like, Jesus. I was like, that was a waste of 5 minutes of my life. That they're trying to be helpful. They're really nice, but like this was a stressful moment trying to do damage control. We didn't know if the roof was going to collapse in us, kind of a thing. Obviously, it didn't, but like in the time, we had no idea what was going on. So it was incredibly hectic. But eventually found it in a weird little spot, but got that done. But at that stage, the water's been running for, again, at the point where we noticed it, dripping down to the bottom level, it was running for at least 30 minutes. I have no idea how long it was running in the attic for. I have no idea how long it was then making its way to the second level before it made itself to the final level. But there was so much water. Even after we turned off the mains, it was dripping for ages. It could have been going for an hour, could have been going for 2 hours. It could have busted the second we moved into the house and turned on the heating. No idea. So just ridiculous. But our sofa got pretty drenched. That's the only thing personal of ours that got damaged. The house is unlivable as of right now, so hence no streams, obviously, because I have nowhere to stream from. And busy trying to get everything all sorted as quickly as possible in there as well. Well, yeah, so we plumber came out yesterday, got some stuff sort of gone. So we're renting, just for anybody curious. We're currently renting right now. We're looking to buy a house in about 6 months' time or so. So this is going to be home base while we're looking to buy a place. So this is no money out of our pocket. So we tried, while all this was happening, we tried to contact the agency we were with, got nothing. It was on a Saturday, 4 o'clock in the day when this happened. So we're like, damn, really annoying that they don't have like an emergency number for us to contact or something like that. So we had to ring our own emergency plumber. He came out, assessed situation, fixed whatever bits he needed to. And he told us like, "Hey, you can turn back on the water," but he's like, literally only turn it back on for when you need the water. He's like, "If you leave the water turned back on at the mains, this is going to bust again. It's going to happen again." And we're like, well, we can't stay here. We've no electricity because all the electricity went out from the amount of water damage that was done. It just gone. I personally then went and tripped all the electricity switches, the trip switches, to make sure nothing else was going to fry itself. Just again, trying to just maintain as much as possible and reduce the damage. But just, man, just ridiculous. So yeah, house unlivable, no electricity, no heating, no water, no gas, everything shut down, house freezing, house soaking. But we had a plumber out there the other day, and he was up in the attic, and he basically said that all the piping that was in the attic is unsuitable for the type of piping it needs to be. He's like, man, this is like mismatched stuff. He's like, this connector here, this is the wrong type of connector. He's like, this thing here, this is gonna go. This might go in a month, this might go in a year. This piece here, it's just going to go eventually. You're going to have the exact same issue again. So he's like, I need to literally cut half of these pipes and just completely replace from here back with brand new stuff, insulate it properly, do all this. And he's like, once we do that, we can then have water flowing again. We can turn the heating on in the house, crank it out to the max. That will start the drying process. He's also going to be bringing loads of dehumidifiers. We can put them into the rooms because there was a lot of water. So much water that the literal main door frame, which goes through like the main structural point of the house, like this is a main anchor point to the house. The door no longer shuts. The door frame has warped because the walls above it have warped. So there's that much water damage done. Like, I'm like, Jesus, that was a lot. So the door won't even shut in there. So mold as well is probably a thing as well, David. Yeah, I'll get around to that as well. But yeah, you're right on that one. So he is coming out tomorrow at 2 p.m. He's going to get the pipes fixed. So that means we can get water flowing. We can turn on heating, start the drying process. We can get the dehumidifiers that will speed up the process. So that way we don't have to just have heating on for 10 weeks straight. We can speed up the process so the house is livable as soon as possible. Once that's dried out, we then need to get an electrician in because we need the electricity fixed in the house. We did a little bit of testing. Some lights are good, some sockets are good, but again, we don't know which ones actually have water damage and which ones don't. So we don't want to start like an electrical fire. So right now we just turned off all electricity again, but we do know that certain ones are good, so they can power the dehumidifiers and get that process going, which is great. And because there was so much water damage, once the house starts to heat up again and dry out, the walls are going to crack like fucking crazy. He said the ceiling's going to have tons of cracks in it. The walls are going to have tons of cracks. Anywhere where it was wet, it's going to have tons of cracks. And then because there's loads of plasterboard in the walls and the carpet was so dense, there's 100% going to be mold. He's like, so much water, so cold, left sitting there for days and days and days because this was the quickest we can get the process done. He's like, you're guaranteedly going to get mold. So that's another thing that has to be done. We need to have a person who's going to come out to check the structural damage of the house. Obviously the door frame, make sure that the attic is safe to stand in, make sure that certain levels are all safe, because right now we've no idea. You might just fall through a certain area of the house as at this moment. So that's fun. So we have that out, and then we need to get somebody to come in and actually, prep and sort stuff for the mold as well, and the electrician, as I said, as well. And then we can live in the house. So we have a lot of stuff to do before we can even live in the house right now. But tomorrow, being able to have the pipes replaced, heating in there, the dehumidifiers, that is the main starting point, because straight after that, electrician, as I said, that means we can start getting some other stuff rocking at the same time. And then the cracks and stuff obviously don't need to be fixed instantly, but we want them fixed ASAP. And then of course mold as well, we need to make sure. He was like, you're 100% getting mold. He's like, there's no chance you're not. So that needs to be sorted as soon as possible as well. So that's why there's been no stream for the last few days. If you've been following our socials, you would have seen some posts about it. It's been really fun. Thankfully, we have not been forced to sleep in the car because Lou has an auntie who lives in the area nearby. So we've been crashing in her little conservatory area with a little mini electric heater because it's cold in here, sleeping on a futon bed, me, Lou, and Jimmy. It is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever slept on. And Jimmy is a wriggly little bastard, and it just makes it super uncomfortable the entire time. But that is currently, I'd rather have it than not have it sleep on though. Super appreciative, because if not, we would have been forced to sleep in the car because the house is unlivable. It's literally colder inside the house than it is outside the house because just how much water is still there. It's so fucking cold. We were in the house letting the plumber in the other day. And then we went out the back to let Jimmy go toilet. And we're like, whoa, it's warm outside. We're like, is there like some heat being hit here? No, it was just so cold inside. It felt warm outside in -4 degrees Celsius. Fucking crazy, man. It's so cold in that house. But what's really annoying then is we are traveling for Christmas starting late tomorrow. We have about a 5-6 hour drive we got to do tomorrow. We're going then to Lou's family. We're dropping Jimmy off down there with Lou's parents, who's taken care of Jimmy before. They came up and minded him for us. He's really good with them, so we know he's in a good place. We're then flying over to Ireland the day after. And then we're going to be in Ireland for 3 days. Then we're flying back. We're spending a couple days with Lou's family, and then we're coming back up. So hopefully during that period, with the dehumidifiers and the heating actually working again, and hopefully an electrician in at that time, by the time we actually end up getting back, everything is just done at that point. So the agency we went with, fucking useless, man. They didn't contact the homeowners until Monday. We tried to contact them Saturday when it happened. We couldn't get through to them. Contacted them first thing Sunday, told them all the issues. They basically done nothing. They said they're going to contact the homeowners. They didn't contact the homeowner until Monday. The homeowner personally reached out to Lou, which usually is the whole point of the agency, but he reached out directly to Lou, and he's been great. He's been on it, getting stuff sorted. He's currently out of country. He's on a vacation right now, a completely different time zone with only internet at certain times. He's been literally taking days out of his holiday to get stuff rolling. He's done so much stuff. He got the plumber out. He's getting the dehumidifier sorted. He's been absolutely on it. He's been so apologetic about everything. Obviously, this is no one's direct fault. This is just unfortunate with what happened, but he's been absolutely on it. But man, the agency have been so bad, useless. They sent out. The agency said that they were sending somebody out for us on, I think on the Monday it was. And we're like, cool, we'll be at the house. We'll let the person in. And this person was going around checking the pipes, and he was all over the place. And we're like, what is this lad doing? And he was checking the pipes, and he was trying to figure out all stuff. And we're like, this is where the leak was. This is where it happened. I've got the water turned off. And he was like measuring stuff and trying to figure out where everything was connected. And we were like, what are you looking for? And he told us blah, 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 some stuff that he was looking for. And we're like, what is it you do? And he's like, oh, I'm the electrician. Why have they sent an electrician? We have no water. We have no heating. The house is soaking wet. Do not turn on any electricity, bro. You're going to blow up the fucking house. We're like, what? I was like, why have they sent the electrician? We need water fixed first. We need water dried up then, and then the electrician can come out. And this lad is the electrician, and he's up in the attic looking at the busted pipes, and he's trying to figure out where everything's connected. It's like, what are you doing? By the end of it, by the time he left, again, this was the agency. They sent this guy out. They did not understand the order of priority that needed to be done, but they sent the electrician when it was like, dude, you're here way too early. Also, what are you doing? Why are you looking for all the pipes? What are you doing right now? So he basically went in and just flipped the switches in the trip box, and that was basically it. And we're like, turn those off. The house is soaking wet. You're going to start a fucking fire in here right now, but there's going to be an electrical fire. And I was like, turn those fucking off, dude. I was like, we do not need electricity right now. Electricity is purposely off because the house is soaking. Every light socket was a fucking water sprinkler, dude. I was like, turn this off. You're going to blow up some stuff. And, the electricity is off to stop further damage. Absolutely not. We basically had to tell them, we were like, yo, dude, you got to stop. I was like, they called through at the wrong time. We need plumber first and then this. Just useless. We rang the agency again, and we were like telling them, it's like, we need a plumber first. We didn't hear back from the agency for a couple of days. We were quite on with the homeowner. They got a plumber sent out pretty much the very next day then. And He knew stuff. He got there. He told us all the stuff that needed to be done. He chatted about everything. Told us what time frame stuff could be done in, what to be expected. Seemed like he was on his game. He was there at the time he said he was going to be there. I was like, this lad knows that he understands the situation. We're currently homeless right now because of it. Thank you, Mugs. Appreciate it. He knows all the situation. So he's absolutely getting it sorted. And I believe he's actually friends with the homeowner. So it's in everyone's best interest here. So we're like, cool, this guy knows his stuff. Then I get a call X amount of hours later from the agency saying, hi, we have a plumber scheduled to come out in 2 hours' time. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, maybe this lad assessed some stuff and there was another plumber coming out to then repair some stuff. But I was like, that plumber said he was coming out tomorrow to fix these. I was like, so I rang them back and I was like, hi, we've already had a plumber at the house and he's going to fix everything tomorrow. We don't need a second plumber. And the agency then told us that, oh, hey, we talked with the homeowner and we decided that us as the agency are going to fully take over and we'll sort the plumbers and stuff like that. And I was like, we already have a plumber. This guy knows this stuff. I was like, we're just wasting extra time. This lad can have stuff sorted for us tomorrow. I was like, I'm fucking sick of this shit. I was like, we're sticking with this guy, blah, blah, blah. So we then contacted the actual homeowner and was like, hey, they sent out another plumber and the homeowner's like, we didn't hear anything about this. So the agency just straight up lying. They're like, we chatted with the homeowner and we decided that we're going to take over for the plumber. And they were like, no, stick with this guy. This guy's a friend. We know that he can get everything done. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So I think the agency just trying to step in and take back control. So that way it doesn't look like absolute shit from their point and they can still make their commission. But like, fucking useless, man. So I rang them back, told them we didn't need second plumber to cancel it, and they're like, okay, cool. Few hours later, I get a phone call from another agency who does like plumbing, and like, hi, we've had a plumber sitting outside your house for over the last hour waiting for you. Where are you? And I was like, what? I was like, we don't need a second plumber. I was like, we already had a plumber out. Told them all the stuff, and I was like, we've already chatted to the agency and told them we do not need another plumber to cancel it. And they were like, yeah, we haven't, we weren't referred that information. They were like, we had a plumber booked early this morning, and that was all we were told. We're told it's an emergency and someone needs to be sent out. So I told the agency we didn't need a plumber, and they never got back to the agency that they contacted to provide a plumber. So a plumber still got sent out, huge waste of time, and then the agency that does the plumbing then couldn't get in contact with the agency that does the housing because they were just ghosting them, basically. So I'm like, this, oh my, dude, all over the fucking place. So we basically just been in direct contact with the homeowner. And as I said, the homeowner is on vacation right now, so it's really awkward. But they have a friend in England and they've been working as kind of like their consultant. So they've been stepping in and doing everything. Her name's Mary and she's been fucking killing it. So she's been on it. Like, I'll send her a message within 20 seconds. She's already responded. Like, she's the one who sorted the plumber. She's gotten the dehumidifiers going on. Everything's scheduled for tomorrow. Once that goes on, we can then get everything else. But man, it's fucking crazy right now. So that's why there's been no stream for the last few days, and that's why there'll be no stream for the next few days. Because we don't have a house to live in as of right now. None of this is going to cost us any money because we're currently renting right now. We went through all the processes of everything. The homeowner obviously has insurance for everything, so all this is going to be covered. It is just a giant inconvenience for everybody. I obviously can't work. I can't do my thing. Lou can't work from home either. So it's just really, really annoying. And then tomorrow we're traveling. As I said, we got like a 5-6 hour drive. Then we're flying over to Ireland. We're over in Ireland with my family for a few days. We're then back. We're then with Lou's family for a few days. So hopefully during those few days while we're away, with the dehumidifiers, the pipes being fixed, hopefully they get the rest of the process that needs to be done. as I said, we have loose family here in this area, so we're going to give them the spare key to the house. So if anybody else needs to come in, if an electrician needs to get access to the house, or somebody to fix the mold, or somebody to fix the cracks, or whatever else needs to be done, that can be done, in our part while we're away. So basically, after tomorrow, we're out. This is no longer our problem for a little bit, but man, super annoying and inconvenient. And then right before all this happened, we obviously found out that my paid contract with Facebook is being cancelled. I was meant to have 6 months remaining on that one, but obviously with all the stuff going on with tech companies, there's been layoffs and everything. I kind of seen this coming, but I've been a paid partner with Facebook for nearly 5 years now, and my contract with them has inabruptly ended. I was told this the day before we were moving, which was like 4 days ago now, 5 days ago now. So really great time in our lives right now. A huge portion of my income is now gone. Had to move houses, house floods, currently unlivable. I'm homeless. I can't stream. I can't make any money. We then have all this other stuff to go through. Man, just what an absolute fucking time. So basically, if you guys could send some stars and bits and subs, that would be appreciated. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate. I have no alerts currently enabled on the stream right now because I'm streaming from my phone. But with that being said, you may have noticed we're wearing some new merch. Oh, I hit my knee. We're wearing some new merch right now. This is just a nice little teaser for when the new merch store goes live. We're doing a whole brand new relaunch and rebrand and loads of really cool stuff. So you can't get your hands on this right now, but you will be able to. It's looking pretty cool. All over print, 100%. This was the tester sample. The actual live samples, the lines will be slightly slimmer, and there will actually be more of them, and actually looks a little bit nicer, if I'm going to be honest. So this was the tester one, and we've improved it a little bit more. So this is one of the new designs that's coming, as well as many, many other cool designs and brand new products we've never had before. So once we go back live, once we get back to the house, once I can actually live stream again, the merch store will be going live the day we come back. So get your bookmarks on that bad boy. You can just go to amparmy.tv. If you go to it right now, it just says coming soon. There's a password on the website. If you can guess the password, you get early access. You're not going to guess it, but try. It gets you to click onto the website, I guess, right? So bookmark that, because once we are able to actually go back live, the merch store will also be going live that day too, so we can build some hype on it. It was meant to be live this week, but here we are. So that's all that. So that's the updates. Just wanted to keep everyone in the loop, let you guys know what's happening. Again, we did make some posts on Facebook to let everyone know, but not everyone sees it in there because Facebook. So I thought doing a nice little IRL stream. Password is Waterpark1. Bro, the house was literally like a live fucking water park. Like, you're genuinely right. So yeah, absolutely crazy. But there's the life update. That's what's going on. So once we can actually go live and live in our house again, we'll be live literally as soon as possible. But as I said, we're traveling for Christmas. We're doing like 3 days Ireland, like 2-3 days then we'll lose family. So hopefully that time while we're away, all the house stuff will be fixed and we can just get back, set up my stream, and just live in the house, and it just all be good. And this is a small portion, and we can laugh about it in the future, because damn, is it fucking annoying. So there's a little check-in. Thank you for people who tuned in. I have no idea if anybody sent bit stars, subs, or anything along those lines. If you did, I don't appreciate it. Fuck you. I do obviously appreciate it. I just have no idea how to see anything like that. So thanks everyone who tuned in. We'll be back live when we can be. I will be making updates in like our Discord server. If you care about that kind of stuff, I might make some more posts on our Facebook, depending if I have a large amount of stuff to do. So get connected there. But until then, thank you for tuning in, and I'll hopefully see you guys on the next stream. Have a good rest of your day.